Paris is a romantic fantasy place. It stands out as one of the world's glamorous metropolises, stretching along the banks of the Seine River in northern France. Its cityscape gleams with renowned architecture, including historical monuments and vintage mansions, art museums, cathedrals, large landscaped gardens, and fashionable shopping districts. The unique areas of interest that define Paris' ageless beauty enchant both repeat visitors and first-timers. Paris is regarded one of the most beautiful cities on the planet because of all these amazing sights to visit. A trip to Paris might provide you with an entirely new vacation experience. Let's see beautiful places to visit in Paris. Number 1. Louvre Museum. The Louvre, located in the heart of the city, is the world's most visited and popular art museum and gallery. It is also one of Paris' most stunning tourist attractions. This museum is housed in a royal fort, also known as the Louvre, and spans 21,000 acres. Relics of the same can still be seen in the basement. This lavish and exotic museum, which is one of the most visited tourist attractions in Paris, is divided into numerous parts, including Egyptian antiquities, Oriental antiquities, Islamic art, Greek and Roman art, paintings, objects of art, medieval sculptures, and graphic art, to name a few. Number 2. The Eiffel Tower. One of the most famous attractions to visit in Paris is the first thing that comes to mind when we think of the city. The Eiffel Tower, named after engineer Gustave Eiffel, is a wrought iron lattice tower that is regarded one of Paris' most important sites. It was built in 1889 as the primary entrance to the World Fair and has since become a cultural landmark of not only Paris, but France as a whole. The highest tower in Paris, with 3 floors exposed to tourists, is at the top of the list of must-see tourist sites in Paris. Restaurants and stores are located on the first 2 floors, while the top level offers the most breathtaking and best bird's-eye view of Paris. This is a location where you can have a truly unique experience. It is not just one of the city's most popular tourist attractions, but also one of the most beautiful sights on the planet. Your journey to Paris would be completed without a stop here. Make sure you allow enough time to see this location. Number 3. Notre Dame Cathedral. Notre Dame is a famous and gorgeous Roman Catholic cathedral in Paris, and it is one of the most popular tourist attractions. Every visitor is enthralled by the Gothic architecture, amazing sculptures, and gargoyles. Its ruins and dome ceiling add to its splendor. If you want to see some of Paris's most stunning buildings, here is the place to go. The location has a distinct charm that is difficult to overlook. It's no surprise that this is one of Paris' most popular destinations. Local guides share memories and stories about various areas of interest. Tourists pour into the neighborhood's small stores and cafes only because of their fascination with the cathedral. The Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris has a lot to offer, so make sure you're prepared for a memorable visit. Number 4. Palais Garnier. The Palais Garnier is a monument to aristocratic society during the Second Empire. The theater seats more than 2,000 people, and the exterior is just as lavish, with music and dance sculptures on the facade, Apollo atop the copper dome, and nymphs carrying torches. Someone spilled a bottle of ink on Carpoy's sculpture La Danse's marble thighs in 1869, shocking Parisians with its blatant sexuality. The original is presently on display at the Musée d'Orsay, along with a giant-scale model of the structure. The Grand Foyer has been brilliantly rebuilt, with mirrors in parquet, colored marble, sculpted stucco, sculptures, and paintings by Baudry. The Grand Escalier. The auditorium, with a false ceiling painted by Chagall in 1964, red satin and velvet boxes, and the library and museum, originally the Emperor's private salons, where he could enter straight by carriage on the slope at the back of the palace, are well worth seeing. Number 5. Champs-Élysées. Champs-Élysées, officially Boulevard des Champs-Élysées, a large avenue in Paris that runs from the Arc de Triomphe to the Place de la Concorde and is one of the world's most famous. The Rond-Point roundabout des Champs-Élysées divides it into 2 sections. Gardens, museums, theaters, and a few restaurants surround the bottom section, which leads to the Place de la Concorde and beyond. The Tuileries Gardens, luxury shops and hotels, restaurants, and pavement cafes, theaters, banks, and offices used to be located in the top section, towards the Arc de Triomphe. However, its character has evolved over time, despite its tremendous tourist attraction. Airlines, offices, fast food restaurants, vehicle dealerships, and theaters, as well as American-style retail arcades, have all grown in popularity. Number 6. Place de la Concorde. This is the attractive place to visit in Paris. The Place de la Concorde was rebuilt between 1836 and 1840, when the Khedive of Egypt provided a 3,000-year-old Egyptian obelisk from Luxor, which was erected in the square center. 2 river and sea-themed fountains, inspired by Rome's fountains, are aligned with the obelisk. The French Naval Ministry and the Crillon Hotel, one of Paris' oldest and most exquisite hotels, are located on the north side of the plaza. The views of Paris from the obelisk are breathtaking. The Tuileries Garden is on one side, with the Louvre Museum in the background, while the Champs-Élysées and the Arc de Triomphe are on the other. Number 7. Quartier Montmartre. Montmartre was an independent commune located just outside Paris until 1860, when it became the 18th district of Paris. Many Parisians avoided the region at the end of the 19th century because of the cabarets and brothels that had opened there. During the Belle Epoque, however, many great artists chose to settle in the region, changing it into the unusual and fascinating district it is today. Montmartre is divided into 2 distinct neighborhoods. The first, near Place Pigalle, is known for its neon lights of sex shops and cabarets, including the world-famous Moulin Rouge, which attracts thousands of tourists each year. Number 8. Luxembourg Gardens. It's difficult to determine which garden in Paris is the finest, so let's avoid using that term. But if you had to rate them only on aesthetic appeal, the Luxembourg Gardens would undoubtedly win. It features everything a good garden should have: tree-lined promenades, ponds, statuary, fountains, and an abundance of flowers throughout the year. It also has that something special. It could be the man-made grotto or a 17th century mansion, a little whimsy pedant, an antique carousel, a dozen miniature boats sailing across a duck pond doesn't hurt either. Number 9. Seine River Cruises. A Seine River cruise is a popular way to explore Paris, and one that we constantly suggest to visitors. These brief river cruises allow you to see many of the city's sights while floating along the Seine River. The Louvre, the Eiffel Tower, the Musée d'Orsay, Notre Dame Cathedral, and so on. From the river, you can see several of Paris' most renowned and prominent buildings, bridges, and attractions. The river vista also provides excellent views of the city's history, progress, and architecture. Number 10. Musée d'Orsay. In the restored Gare d'Orsay, the Musée d'Orsay houses a magnificent collection of 19th and 20th century art, produced between 1848 and 1914. The Universal Exhibition of 1900 prompted the construction of this Belle Epoque railway station. The museum's expansive galleries house some of the world's most cherished masterpieces. The Orsay Museum is one of the top venues in Paris to visit if you want to learn about Impressionist art. The diverse collection of paintings delights visitors, from canvases that display Monet's soft pastel-hued brush strokes to Gauguin's wild, vivid settings. A bookstore and gift shop, a casual cafe, and a fine dining restaurant are all available at the museum.